to the show, everyone. As you all know, I absolutely love my show. And I love it because of all the great information that we have. I am so excited about bringing on my first guest. He's been on with me for years. I have with me Daniel Bauman, and he's the owner of White Wolf Black Bear Integrated Healing. And we're live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us
Hey, everyone.
We're going to share the show later on. The first thing I want to say, there are a couple of things before you do what you're going to do in a second.
Course.
You're a shaman.
Yes.
You're also a Reiki master.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I want you to talk, first what we said that we were going to do on the show is we were going to calm everybody down.
Let's bring it down a few.
Okay.
Let's bring it down. There we go.
I got to tell you,
There we
that
go.
calms me so much. And if anything can calm me, that's going to be it, especially before doing a show, a live show. You know, that's a wonderful thing. Where did you get that, I might ask?
This is called a Tibetan singing bowl. And they come without the handle. And, you know, they sit them on the shelf and you can ring it. But what I didn't like about that is, like my bells that I use, you can, with the handle, you can actually direct the sound, direct the frequency, direct the energy around.
I love it. And in just doing that, everybody, you know, when you hear the
feel it.
bells, oh, you can feel it. You have a lot of stuff here with you today. And I want you to talk a little bit about some of the things that you brought here and how they go in with all of your sessions that you do, and what makes you different than anyone else out there, which, believe me, you're different.
Well, Carol, I'm a healer. I arrived in Arizona, it was 1991, and I thought I was just passing through. Wasn't my idea to be here, and I was hanging out for a couple weeks, and every time I tried to move on, I was always being blocked. And after about a month, I realized that this is where I needed to be. This is where Spirit brought me, the universe, God, whatever. So I made the decision to stay, and that's when the magic happened. That's when I met my spiritual teacher. Her name is Melody Adams, Touch Hearts Woman. And Melody is a Native American medicine woman. She's a shaman. And I spent the next 2 years working closely with Melody. Now, in traditional cultures, Carol, the shaman wore 3 hats. They were the healers for the community, they were the spiritual leaders for the community, but also they acted as day-to-day counselors. So Melody was like my therapist. You know, in the work I do today, we do a lot of talking before we get to the healing ceremony. But I didn't know until the last day I saw her that the entire time I was studying as her apprentice. She called me to her house. The last day I saw her, she said, come in the kitchen. I went in the kitchen. She said, sit down. I sat down. She said, close your eyes. I closed my eyes. Open your eyes. There was a medicine bundle in front of me. It was a prayer pipe. I'll bring it next time when I see you in 2 weeks. And I knew what it was. I didn't want it because I didn't want the responsibility of saving the world, because that is what we do as pipe carriers. But today I carry that burden gladly. Carry it gladly. These tools that I brought with me today, these are tools that I use during my shamanic healing sessions. These sessions last about an hour and a half. And when the client or the patient comes in, first we sit down, we do some talking, see where they're at, what's going on. And we pick a topic to make the healing ceremony about. It could be anything, a hard-won victory, celebrating, or they're having a challenge, moving forward, they're stuck, they need a reset, whatever it could be. And get them on the table and I start the ceremony. And I start the ceremony first, always. I put on some flute music. We call this a sound therapy tool. The sound, it cuts through the energy, calms people down, and then I go with the sage. I light the sage, and it's called smudging. And this idea of using smoke and scent before a spiritual healing experience, it's a very universal practice. You know, they do it in Shinto shrines, Buddhist temples, Hindu temples, Wiccans do it, and it happens in church when they burn frankincense.
You know what? It happens in homes. If you want to do it, you can do it.
Yes, absolutely. And like at church, when the parishioners smell the frankincense, it puts them in a state of mind, and they're open to receiving the Word of God.
It's awesome. I happen to have some frankincense that I started using on myself, and somebody
really?
said to take and put it on your hands and smell it and see how you feel. And it's an incredible, what it does to you is it opens you up. I mean, I think is that why they use frankincense?
It's aromatherapy. I think aromatherapy was the first therapy. You know, you're living in a smoky, dank cave. You walk outside into the fresh air, smell the flowers, you're gonna feel better.
But you know something, you have brought some of these other things that I love that you have brought. And everybody on Facebook can check this out. That's what's kind of cool about watching the show on Facebook. Just go to Networking Arizona and you'll see us in here doing it live. Some of the other things that you've brought.
Okay, this is my rattle. Now, I use this at the beginning and end of the sessions. I walk around the client twice with the rattle. And what this does, this opens up the aura. Opens up the aura so it can receive the healing intention and energies of the session. Then I close up the aura at the end of the session to close in all the good work we did. Now this is my prayer fan or my smudge fan. When I'm smudging, when I'm burning the sage, smoke it around. But also I use it, I brush it against their bodies, all on the bodies. This, first of all, it gets energy moving, but also it loosens up any dark energies or entities that might be sticking to the people. But then also I use what we call sound frequency
Love
tools.
this.
Healing frequency tools, and these are tuning forks. Now these tuning forks are different. You see how they have these weights on them? They're called auto tuning forks. Normal tuning forks, it's about the sound. But this is about the vibration, the frequency. And we use 128 hertz and 93.96 hertz. And this frequency is for healing the body. And what is remarkable about these tools, you know, bone doctors, osteopaths use tuning forks, audiologists use tuning forks, neurologists use tuning forks. Like, say somebody might have a broken bone, you can't get to an x-ray machine. You activate the tuning fork, you put it on the part of the body that might be affected. If there's a sharp pain there, you've got to get to the ER. But what I do, when we activate the tuning fork, I put it on the crown chakra, third eye, and every joint on the body.
Wow.
And I've yet to find a tool that relaxes the body so quickly and so thoroughly as tuning forks.
I want to talk, because we're going to go to a break. I can't believe that we're already on this
I know.
But I want you to tell everybody,
Mhm.
because a lot of people think that shamans and it's woo-woo, and that it's that you only do woo-woo. No.
No way. No way. I'm not one of these healers that wants nothing to do with the medical community. As you know, I work very closely with the medical community. I work at Banner, Baylor, and Barron Heart Hospitals, have been for several years. I offer Reiki treatments to patients, and it's been a very successful program. There is a place for all of it.
Mhm.
I believe there's a place for Western medicine, with Eastern medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, what I do, energy medicine, there's a place for all of it. And I believe after 2020, people are searching for more.
Oh, I agree.
Outside that box.
100%. And you know what? When you intertwine all of these, it helps you find more answers.
Absolutely.
Right? And also feel better, probably faster than you ever could. Because a lot of times you go from one place, you get the same thing over and over and over again, and you do not get answers, and this way you will.
You know, well, one of the challenges with Western medicine, and I'm not dogging them at all, but it's about putting a Band-Aid on. You know, say you get a tension headache. What happens? You're stressed out. The muscles in your neck and shoulder and head tighten up. Blood flow is constricted. You have a headache. So what do? You take an aspirin, you take a Tylenol. Unless you're pregnant, you never take Tylenol when you're pregnant. And you don't feel the headache anymore, but you still have a headache.
And why
Your
are
body
you
still
having
hurts. 10, 15 minutes with me, you'll forget all about the headache because it will be gone, and the reason it started will be gone because you won't be tense anymore.
Getting to the root cause.
Root cause,
of
that's
the
what we
matter.
do.
Now, his website is whitewolfblackbear.com. His phone number is 602-400-9103. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further, folks, because you know what? This is cool stuff.
See you soon. Yes.
Still live here and
Yes,
there.
we are.
Okay. So, I want to go over a couple of different things
Okay.
with you. When you talk about yourself and what you've gone through and the people that you have helped that have called you from, let's say, some of the people that have called from this show, because some of them that you have mentioned, they are
In crisis.
in crisis. They're right there where they're
Yes.
about ready to just.
They ran the gambit of what the medical community has to offer, and the community was not able to help them for whatever reason. So a lot of times they come to me as a last resort. A lot of times they should come sooner, but a last resort is better than not at all. And when I can run with the ball when the medical community can't, is because the medical community, our doctors, God bless them, but they're trained to look at just the physical body. But we are more than a physical body. We have an emotional body, we have a mental body, and a spiritual body, as well as a physical body. All four are real and all four are connected. And when one is out of balance, Cal, they are all out of balance. So people that come in that have physical challenges, many times the cause of our physical challenge is not physical in nature. Our mental health affects our physical health. Our emotional health affects our physical health. And our spiritual health affects our physical health.
When the first of the year came up, it's a while ago now,
Yeah.
but you had told me this year there's something on the rise. There's something going on.
Oh, yeah.
An awakening.
Spiritual awakening, the great awakening, it's happening. It's never happened before in the history of the planet where there's this massive spiritual awakening. People are waking up spiritually in unprecedented numbers all over the globe. And with the backdrop of this spiritual war happening, it makes sense. Spiritual warriors are waking up.
Well, I think a lot of us are having our own spiritual wars within our own body,
Absolutely.
and being able to have someone like you come in and get to it so that we can understand
Oh,
what it
even
is.
talking about it, because when we wake up spiritually, everything changes. Nothing, because our perspective is different. We start to hear things that other people don't hear, see things, feel things, know things. And it's imperative to find somebody that can walk you through that. And, I mentor many, many people that are going through that.
It's wonderful.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
If only more people would do it,
Sure. Because I think in our culture, we've been trained to believe that the unseen is bad and to ignore it. And, it's wicked, it's evil. Science is the new God. If you can't see it, replicate it, duplicate it, then it is invalid. And with spiritual matters, that's just not the case.
So welcome back. We've been talking to Facebook land out there, and I love that part because we go on further and we learn more. And one of the things that we were talking about is, number one, there's so many people out there that are struggling. They're struggling because they're trying to get better. They're looking for answers, and like you said at the break, that people come to you when they're in a crisis.
Absolutely.
When they've tried everything and now all of a sudden they finally call you and they said really they should call you earlier, but better
Late
now
than never.
than exactly.
Mhm.
So, but I want to talk about also the awakening of people being aware more and more about even what's happening to themselves, because the fact that they're even listening to that is a
Yes.
sign that they are opening
Waking
up
up.
to exactly.
Waking up spiritually. It's a remarkable process, and it can be very overwhelming and scary. But when we wake up spiritually, it's like waking up one day and putting on a magic pair of glasses, where nothing changes, but the world is completely different because your perspective is different. You start to hear things that other people don't hear, see things, know things. And when you're going through this and the people around you are not, you're going to be labeled as cuckoo. And these people aren't crazy. You are not crazy. I believe you. Come talk to me about it. And it's always a powerful tool to have an ally, to have somebody to mentor you as you walk through this.
Now, when you do your sessions, you say they're about an hour and a half.
Yes.
Right? And do you end up with doing some Reiki as well?
Oh yes, Reiki is definitely part of my shamanic healing sessions. I use it twice, at the beginning. At the hospitals, our Reiki sessions on the patients are only about 15 minutes long.
Oh.
So I start out with about 10 or 15 minutes. This relaxes my client and puts them in a state. A lot of people will dream, they'll have visions, and I carry on with the other things that I do. Then I finish up with another 10, 15 minutes of Reiki at the end of the session as well.
So when you were working with somebody, what are some of the things that happen?
Well, when people have their visions and dreams, I always love this example. One client, he said he had a vision of, he was walking through a field of broccoli. Now that sounds kind of silly, you don't hear that every day, but actually that's a very powerful image, because broccoli is all about spiritual growth and spiritual nourishment, and that's where he was on his path at that time.
That's cool.
Made perfect sense. Perfect sense. But people come when they're in crisis, And like you said, they don't know what to do, where to go, where to get help. And nobody has ever sat down with me to talk to me that I haven't been there too. You know,
How's it?
when you look somebody in the eye and say, sister, I feel your pain, because I
Oh.
know that struggle. It's powerful.
Before you came on, you also said something to me that you said, Carol, why I love coming on here is letting people know that you even exist.
Right, people hear the word shaman, they think wizard, mythical, magical, but we're out there, and I come on your show. First of all, I respect your audience. They're intelligent, open-minded people, and most people haven't even heard about somebody like me. But I might resonate with some, not with everybody, and that's okay, because I'm not being judged. But this is kind of like a public service announcement for me. I want people to know that they have choices when it comes to their health and their health care, and there are alternatives out there that don't work against modern medicine, but complement modern medicine.
I love that you've said that before, that you're a complement to modern medicine. That's your tagline.
Absolutely. Complementary medicine, complementary therapies. We don't want to go against any of it, We're
No,
here to help.
because there's a place for everything.
Yep.
Now, his phone number is 602-400-9103. You can check him out on his website. It is whitewolfblackbear.com. You have scheduling there as well if they want to schedule
Yeah,
something.
call up. I always have a talk on the phone first. Always have a consultation before somebody comes in.
So you guys kind of find out, are we right for one
Is
another?
it a good fit? What is it you need? And we go from there. But we always talk on the phone first. Always.
So let's talk a little bit about medicine.
Okay.
About what's going on in that world right now, especially, I just heard somebody I'll be careful.
Sure.
We were talking, I heard on the radio, everybody's gotta get their flu shot, we're talking about this time of the year, people get sick and this and that. But
I don't get the flu shot, and I don't get the flu shot because the last 2 times I got the flu shot, I got the flu. So I don't get the flu shot. That's for me. You might want to do something different. I'm not a doctor. I'm not
Right.
giving any medical advice, but after 2020, there are studies coming out talking about that shot that they wanted everyone to
do
get.
people come to you that are saying that they're sick, they can't get better, their backs hurt? Tell me what they come for.
They're in crisis. My latest client, he just showed up this week. He and his wife, he just got through chemotherapy for a very rare form of bladder cancer. They don't know how he got it. You only get it if you're exposed to Agent Orange. Now it's all gone, and their gut is saying, we're done, and we want to go another direction. The oncologists are saying, okay, it's time for radiation, and it's time to take out certain body parts. And I said, what does your gut say? Well, we also have available plant medicine that's been around for thousands of years. There's the National Institute of Health has a website called PubMed. It is the go-to website for medical professionals. There are literally thousands of published studies, credible studies, about plant medicine addressing different types of cancer. Other answers are available.
Well, plant medicine has been around for how long?
Forever.
Forever.
Right.
Before we were.
Mm-hmm.
And the important thing is to understand that you have to find somebody that can help you using the right plants and also the right
Sure.
combination, right?
Absolutely.
Can you help with that?
Oh, absolutely. I've helped people with cancer many times.
Many, many times.
Yeah.
Some of the other things that people come to you when they say that are they usually ill like that, or is it something else? Do they have, remember one time you told me about somebody that called you up that felt their demons, that they
Yes,
were...
people come. Part of this spiritual war that's happening, like I said, many times the cause of our physical health challenges is not physical in nature. Many times it's spiritual. Demons are real. Demons exist. These things, they get in us. They put thoughts in our mind we believe are our own. These thoughts are always harmful, always. But they can trip us, they can push us down steps, but also they can get in us and make us very ill for literally decades. And the doctor is not going to figure that out. And those people have shown up. We have to exorcise the demons. We do that. We use holy water. We do it in the name of Jesus. I had to get baptized a couple years ago just to do my work. More powerful, get that help from Jesus.
I know that maybe you or someone that we know the kids, it's also kids that are, this is not just adults that go through things like this. I think a lot of them will say that they do have, especially people that are doing heavy duty drugs and things like that do that to help them get those demons away. They're
Or just
trying.
a cope. I mean, I'm in recovery. when I was young, things were rough, and I used drugs and alcohol to cope.
Mhm.
You know, now I don't need any of that. I don't want any of that. These dark entities, they get in us when we're at our weakest, and they can make us sad. They can make us depressed. They can make us suicidal, which is going to somebody want to drink even more.
Yeah, and I mean, when I say this, I want you to know that if it's not you or someone that you know, that's what this show is all about, networking. And if you
And that's the challenge with these situations, Carol, is that many times these people suffer in silence. Because many times they know that there's something outside of them that's molesting them. And who's going to believe you?
right, and a lot of times you are afraid to say anything to anybody, so you keep it hidden.
I believe you.
And that's why you should call him and have that conversation. And if it's not you, tell them about him. His phone number is 602-400-9103. Check him out. It's whitewolfblackbear.com. What else, Master?
What else? Okay. Food for thought. Don't watch the news anymore. If you want peace of mind, if you value peace of mind, peace in your heart, just turn off the news, please.
I think that people have choices, of what they want to do. And when something's bothering you, you can make a different choice.
I used to watch the news, but I found out it was triggering me constantly. And I don't need to.
If you like it, great. If
Right.
you don't, turn it off.
Turn it off, see what happens.
Right.
Give yourself a few months.
Give yourself a break of some of that stuff. The noise that's going on, there's a lot of it.
And it creates anger. I thought the news was about informing. But from my new perspective, it's about creating fear and panic and division. And I want no parts of that. The world that I'm helping to co-create, there is no us in them.
Mhm.
Carol, there's only us.
There's only us.
Only us.
What are your final words for people out there?
Find peace wherever you can. And if you're around people that rob your peace, just close the door.
Oh, when people make an appointment with you, okay?
Yeah.
They call and you're gonna get a consultation with them. How fast can you see them? Some people that are in crisis wanna know, I've gotta wait. No.
No. It's all about need. If somebody's in crisis, I can get them in a couple days.
So,
I will make time.
maybe it's you or someone that you know, please, let's help these people that are dealing with any crisis that you are. Learn what this is about. I think that's the main thing, that you
Yep.
want to have people learn what it's about. Is there a lot of that information on the website?
Absolutely. A lot of it's information. I have a whole page of links to medical studies, all sorts of things.
All sorts of things, but the main thing is you get to talk with Daniel.
Yes.
And he will help you understand and help find out what's going on inside there. What are you dealing with, right?
Right. It
Let's
can be
help.
very complicated.
Let's get that changed. And the only way you can really get to the bottom of things is going to the root cause of the problem. That number to call them again is 602-400-9103. It's whitewolfblackbear.com.